What is up YouTube, I am the one and only Glenn Gwyn coming at you with a January 2019 Domain of the True Monarchs deck profile. Boys and girls, if you do enjoy this video then please smash the like button and please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications for more future epic content updates. And obviously I am actually back into playing Yu-Gi-Oh now. I did tell people that I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but I am back. I'm better than ever, bringing you the most consistent deck I can actually bring to you. And I'm probably the only guy that's probably playing Monarchs, but I really wanted to showcase you this because I'm quite excited and I love this deck very much. I did go X2 at my locals the other day. I did beat Thunder Dragons with it. I shut the deck completely down. The floodgates in this deck is incredible. There's a lot of special summoning mechanics and tribute summon mechanics in this deck. Not to mention we can shut any deck down. So please sit back, relax and enjoy while I showcase you the deck profile. To start with, we're going to go through the monsters and we're going to go through the boss monsters of the deck. We do not run an extra deck, by the way, because that's not how Monarchs work. We run triple Erebus the Underworld Monarch. So with all Monarchs in this deck, they're either all 2400 or 2800 attack with 1000 defense. Okay? And they're all tributable. So that means with all the tributes, all their effects activate within the tribute. So basically, when this card is tribute summoned, you can send 2 Monarch spell or trap cards with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard. No matter what, with any first tribute summon that you do, I always recommend that you send either Pantheism to the graveyard if you haven't already had it in your hand to get the draw power, or you send the Prime Monarch. But I will showcase you that in just a moment. And this card allows you to shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand at random, graveyard, or their side of the field into the deck. Meaning if they have cards in their graveyard that they can use as banishment for an effect, or anything that they want to add back to their hand, you can actually banish and shuffle that card back into their deck. So basically Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage, or any Thunder Dragons, they would get shuffled back into the deck, and obviously that will stop your opponent in their tracks. For the Thunder Dragon matchup, I am running 2 Zaboug the Mega Monarch. This card is absolutely broken, so it's also, you can tribute summon a tribute summon monster with it, so you could tag out all different kinds of Monarchs to get these effects. But you can target 1 monster on the field, and including itself, and you can destroy it if it's a light monster, which it will be. Both players send as many cards from their deck, extra deck, to the graveyard as possible, but not more than the original level of rank. So basically, you destroy itself, unless there's a level 8 light monster that your opponent controls, and if it is Thunder Dragons, you're going to shut their deck down, meaning you keep this card on the field. You get to choose the extra deck monsters. Basically, you get to choose 8 monsters from their extra deck to send to the graveyard. It's an absolutely broken card, and that's why I'm going to shut down Thunder Dragons with this card at regionals. The one-offs, obviously this card is limited. This is Aether the Heavenly Monarch. She can actually send 2 Monarch spell or trap cards with different names from the hand or deck to the graveyard also. So it can unbrick your hand if you need it. And this allows you to special summon a Monarch or monster with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense from your deck. But it goes back to your hand during the end phase. And this is the only card in Yu-Gi-Oh which I believe can be tagged out during your opponent's main phase, where you can actually tribute during your opponent's main phase. So the combo would be to have a Monarch spell trap card in your opponent's graveyard. In your graveyard, apologies for that. Monarch spell trap card in your graveyard, okay? You would activate Monarch Stormwolf during your opponent's turn, and then obviously you're interrupting their plays in the chain to bring out Aether and also bring out a special summon monster. Meaning I also get to play Delg the Dark Monarch. It's also a broken card. It's not once per turn, so you can special summon it as much as you want. And that is coming with the combo with Aether. So basically, when you no more special summon, you can select up to 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard, remove them from play, then send the same number of cards from the top of their deck to the graveyard. During the turn it is normal special summon, but this card cannot attack. The only downfall with this card is do not use it against Sky Strikers, because sometimes they can get a lucky meal or fodder to the graveyard and they would actually bring out stuff like Immobilize, Engage, and they will combo off from there. So be very careful when you're using this card. Here's some spicy tech with the deck. Double Danger Dogman. I'm probably one of the first people to actually put Danger Dogman in this deck. The only reason that I'm putting it in is because it's you can use Tenacity of the Monarchs to search out your Monarch spell trap card with this card, because it's 2400 attack and 1000 defense. I will take all credit for that one, and if anyone says otherwise, then it was me who actually came up with the idea, okay? I have not watched any other videos. Anyway, Vanity's Fiend at 2, but I'm actually going to be tagging this out. And I'll be keeping it at 1 in the future, so I just need to get myself a second Majesty's Fiend. So in future, and for the regionals, it will actually be 2 Majesty's Fiend and 1 Vanity's Fiend. Good thing about Vanity's Fiend is it stops special summons. The best card in the deck, in my opinion, is Majesty's Fiend, because monster effects cannot be activated. From the deck, the hand, the graveyard, you cannot do anything. You're literally shutting your opponent off from doing absolutely anything. So let's say they're playing Cyber Dragons, for example, or Trick Stars. Your opponent is just going to look at you and they can't do anything. They cannot activate their Trick Stars to special summon. They've got their normal summon and that is it. So Majesty's Fiend is one of the best cards and one of the best floodgates in any deck. So they're all your boss monsters. And then we're running the little guys, the heavy machinery of the deck, believe it or not, is Triple Edia, the Heavenly Squire. So when this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon 1 monster with 800 attack and defense from the deck in defense position. Most of the time it'll either be Eidos, or it'll be Berlinith, or Mithra, depending on what you have in your deck. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can use it as tribute fodder. It's sent to the graveyard, and then you can target one of your banished Monarch spell traps, add it back to your hand. Great card. I only run 2 Eidos. I believe that is the correct ratio to be playing this deck now. I feel like I saw it way too much, and when I'm banishing it, I can actually just re-special summon Edia, and then her effect can actually special summon another Eidos. And his effect, when special summoned or normal summoned, during my main phase this turn, I can actually tribute summon 1 monster in addition to my normal summon or set. So if I've normal summoned already, tributed, and brought him back out, I can actually get another tribute that turn. And if you can banish him from grave to special summon Edia from grave. Really, really good card. One-offs, I'm playing the 1 Berlinith, the Firestorm Vassal. He's one of the new cards that I've actually decided to put in the deck, because you can actually unbrick your hand with this card, so you can discard 1 card to special summon this card, so that's good enough as it is. You don't run an extra deck, so you don't have to worry about that part of the effect. If this card is tribute summoned, attributed for a tribute summon, you can look at your opponent's entire hand. Okay, that is +1 as it is. You can see your opponent's entire hand, and you can actually plan ahead to see what they're going to do next. And you can actually banish 1 card from their hand until their end phase. So you get to choose what card you banish to stop. You don't get any interruptions on doing it either. So if let's say they've got Ash Blossoms and you need to search out in your deck, you can banish the card until your end phase. And Berlinith is a really good card for the deck. The next card I want to play in the deck is Mithra the Thunder Vassal. Good thing about Mithra is it's a free special summon, and you special summon a token to your opponent's side of the field. Really good combo with Monarch Stormforth, because you can actually target the token, and you can actually tribute that off with Mithra. And Mithra's effect allows you to also, during the main phase, gives you another additional normal summoner set that turn, and you can only gain that once per turn. So be very careful with that. Last but not least, for the monsters, we are running double Danger Snaky Snake. So the reason I'm playing 2 snakes in the deck is extra special summons and extra draw power. This card is a +2 in my opinion. I'll make it a +100 if you have to. This card is absolutely broken. Monarchs dangers in general are broken. So obviously you want as many special summons as you can on the board. You want to flood the board with your monsters. You want to stop your opponent from getting through to you. You want to floodgate them, and then you want to shut their deck down, whether it's their extra deck, monster effects, or just stopping all their effects in general. So basically, even if you don't get the draw power, you still get the free special summon on Snake. So that is my monster lineup. Going into the spells and traps now. So we are running the usual triple Domain of the True Monarchs. I know I'm a bit of a scrub that I only have the 1 super rare right now. Definitely a great card in the deck. You really do need it. If you control a tribute summon monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. There you go. That's the first shutdown of the deck. If a tribute summon monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, so if an opponent's monster attacks you, you do not get this effect. You have to attack the opponent's monster. It gains 800 attack during damage calculation only. That's all you really need to shut down any monsters that you're actually attacking. Any problematic monsters will be destroyed by battle, because you'll have up to 3600 attack or 3200 attack on your tribute summon monsters. And basically you can actually activate this card again, where you can reveal a Monarch, let's say it's level 8 in your hand, and you can reduce its level by 2 to make it a level 6, so you only have to tribute off 1 monster for this card. Next up, I'm only playing 2 Tenacity of the Monarchs. The only reason I'm playing 2 is because it's easily recyclable. I also want to play Return of the Monarchs at 2. So when you tribute summon a monster, this effect will go off, meaning you can add any monster with 2,400 attack and 1,000 defense, or 2,800 attack, a different name as the tribute summon monster from your deck to your hand. So it searches out all your high level monsters, excuse me. One-ofs in the deck. Monarch Stormfall, broken. Tribute summon your opponent's monsters. Another card, broken. If this card comes back at 2 or 3, you've won regionals or YCS. It doesn't matter. You have won. Pantheism is brilliant. It sends Monarch spells. It's basically it unbricks your hand. It sends 1 Monarch spell trap from your hand to the graveyard. Hopefully you got Prime Monarch in your hand because that combos off really well with this. You send that for cost. Draw 2 cards. Then 2 Call by the Graves, I feel like that's sufficient. I know Call by the Grave is at 3. Again, you don't want to brick too much. This card it's great, but I'm never going to use it more than twice in a duel. Then I'm running 2 Twin Twisters, really good for destroying back rows and obviously problematic spells and traps on the board. You know, Rivalry of Warlords is a thing, Goes and Match is a thing, any field spells that your opponent has is a thing, and obviously Sky Strikers still exist and they're such a dangerous deck with all their spells and traps that you need Twin Twisters in the deck. And then I'm running, my draw power is 1 Allure of Darkness, okay, to draw 2 cards, and then that's all I'm running for that, and then 1 Celestial Observatory. The reason being is I don't want to keep banishing all my dark monsters. So basically Celestial Observatory works as a combo with Domain of the True Monarchs. So when you activate Domain, you can reveal a level 8 monster, drop its level by 2, it will become a level 6 monster, and if you do not need it in your hand, you have Celestial Observatory to place it in the bottom of your deck and draw 2 cards. It's that good. Hopefully your opponent will want to stop you. I won 1 for 1. So you send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 1 monster from your hand or deck. If you have a lot of Erebus, the Underworld Monarch, in your hand, you can actually send that for cost, and then if you want to unbrick your hand with too many Monarch spells or traps in your hand, you can actually activate his effect during either player's main phase to send 1 Monarch spell trap from the deck, from the hand to the graveyard to bring him back to your hand. So really good little combo right there. The 1 Monster Reborn looking fantastic, and everyone knows what that does. Anyway, as for the traps, 2 Monarchs Erupt. Okay, so this card I was thinking of siding at some point because we don't actually need it. We have Majesty's Fiend. If that touches the field, no one can activate monster effects anyway. So this card is more of like a backup plan, and obviously fodder for the graveyard, and you can banish it and bring it back. Then I'm only playing the 1 Prime Monarch. This is easily recyclable and easily special summon, so you can actually special summon it by banishing 1 Monarch spell or trap. I actually never activate this card. I will never play it. If you want to send target 2 Monarch spells or traps in your graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck to get more draw power, go for it. But I always recycle it for special summoning and swarming in bold, because you can activate this card at any time. So basically you could tribute, special summon it, then you have it tributed, and then you can actually just keep using it from grave. If it is banished by any chance, you can use Edia to bring it back to your hand and keep using it. So it's all recyclable and consistent. And then last but not least, for my trap cards, I'm running 2 Solemn Strikes and 1 Solemn Warning. I was thinking of bumping it up to 3 Solemn Strikes, but I really do not want to go over the consistency of the deck at 45 cards as it is. We are running a lot of spells and traps, and we are running quite a few monsters. I sometimes brick. I sometimes seem to just draw into more like 5 spells and traps at a time, but that is just a shuffle issue. There is nothing wrong with the deck in particular. And last but not least, I am playing Imperial Order to shut down all spells and traps, to shut down all spells in the deck, sorry. If it was spells and traps, that would be absolutely broken as hell. But it negates all spells on the field, and during each of your standby phases, you will want to pay the 700 life points or destroy this card, unless you want to activate your own spell cards. But by then, usually on turn 1, you will have an unbreakable board where you will have like a tribute summon monster like Vanity's Fiend, or you will have Majesty's Fiend. If you've got Domain of the True Monarchs and you have Majesty's Fiend on the field, do not worry, you have won the duel. Your opponent will scoop in turn 1. Unless they have Twin Twisters, that's different, but Majesty's Fiend is usually the card that ends the duel. And then off to my side deck. I do have a side deck in this one. We have the standard 2 Ash Blossoms, you know, this is all going second kind of standard stuff. 2 Ash Blossoms, triple Ghost Ogre, and then we have triple Droll, which is good for like Trickstar and Thunder Dragon matchups, and also Sky Strikers. And then we have 2 very special guests in this deck. One is the Despair Uranus, and I know what everyone is thinking. Why are you running this card? This card never gets played. I've never seen this card get played, okay? So when this card is tribute summoned, while you control no spells or traps, you can activate this effect. Your opponent declares either continuous spell or continuous trap, okay? You see where I'm going with this? If your opponent declares wrong and they do not know the deck you're running, this card is great because it does search out Imperial Order. And then basically you set it directly from the deck. So this comes straight from the deck if you haven't seen it already, and you set it immediately. It is absolutely incredible to have this card. And then last but not least, because you can swarm the board with special summons and you get the other tribute, I'm actually deciding to put Obelisk the Tormentor back in the deck. Yes, just to throw your opponent off guard. It's going to make them think, oh my god, there's a god card in the deck. Why is he running Divine Monarchs? So I've decided to put Obelisk in as a side deck option just to wind my opponent up, because I know I can bring him out. The last time I did bring him out though, I did get hit by a Borreload Dragon and then he attacked me for game. The 1 Shared Ride is good for draw power or adding cards to your hand. 1 Raigeki, which is a board wipe for monsters. 1 Soul Drain. If you come across Thunder Dragon matchup or Zombie matchup or any type of matchup that plays from the Banishment or Graveyard, Soul Drain will actually sort this out for you. This goes well with Despair Uranus also, because this can be searched out and set directly from your deck if you haven't already gone into it. So you pay 1,000 life points. Monsters that are banished as well as monsters in the graveyard cannot activate their effects that start a chain. So GG to Thunder Dragons, GG to Sky Strikers, GG to monsters. Last but not least, 2 Storming Mirror Forces. Kind of a broken card still. This is the only card that I'll play as a battle trap, and if I'm in really deep trouble on going second, because my opponent will want to go first. They will not want Monarchs to go first in this deck, and obviously that returns all attack position monsters your opponent controls to the hand. Most of them will go back to the extra deck, and then obviously you have a free board so you can go off and play some more. Boys and girls, that is my deck profile. Let me know what you think. Sorry it is a little bit longer, and obviously it was harder to explain certain things because I'm just so excited about showcasing this deck profile. Let me know what you think about the deck profile. Try it for yourself, use it on YuGiOh Pro or something. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and Glenn Gwyn is signing out. Peace.